Hello everybody, so today I'm going to show you how to make a card out of book pages. So a good upcycling task for any old books you've got lying around the house. I'm sure we've all read a lot during lockdown. So what we do is I'll show you two different ways. So the first one, we're going to use a bit of brown card. You can use whatever colour card, I just don't recommend white because the book pages won't come up that well. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this in half. This craft paper has quite a nice natural look to it. There we go. So you can use some scissors to make it nice and straight and keep it all flat. There we go. So we have our card. You could line it with some white inside, or you could just leave it with the rustic feel. It's entirely up to you. So what we're going to do now is I've already cut some pages out of an old book, so I'm going to put that to the side. So I've got my card and now I'm going to draw my design. So for this one I was thinking I would do a Christmas tree. So all you do is you pick your random page. It's good to have one with lots of words. One like this wouldn't really work because you're missing half of what, you miss the full effect. So have one with lots of words on it, quite a busy page. And I'm just going to draw a Christmas tree shape that I'm going to cut out. So standard Christmas tree shape. It doesn't matter if you go onto the sections that don't have words on. There we go. So I've got my scissors, I'm going to cut them out now. So the Christmas tree is starting to take shape. There we go, so we have our Christmas tree shape. And then what we'll do is we'll pop it on our card so it's nice and big. You can do all different ones, it's entirely up to you. We've got our Christmas tree shape there, and then I'm gonna use my glue gun, but you can use PVA or you can use a glue stick. You don't need a glue gun for paper like this, that's absolutely fine. So put my scraps to the side, and then I've got this little bit of gold glittery paper, so I'm going to draw a star for the top of my tree. You don't have to have a glittery one. You might have some old stickers laying around that you could do, or you could make your own star and paint it. Have a little look through your cupboard and see what you've got. There we go, so we've got a star for the top of our tree. That's how it will start to look. So I'm going to just chop a little bit off the bottom of my tree because I think I actually want to add a pot to it and a little stalk. So I'm going to get another page. So I've used quite a bit of that page. Let's find one. Make sure they're all, yeah, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to cut out a little square, rectangle more so, and a line straight up from my trunk. It's not a wasted page because we can use this again for our next one. There we go, that's better. You can colour it in as well, you could get some watercolours on it. So here's our tree with our little star at the top. Oop, I think I've put that the wrong way, but there we go. There's how our little tree and star's looking so far. You could just leave it as the tree, it's entirely up to you. Let's get rid of the scraps, don't want them. Okay, so this should be heating up by now. So I'm going to stick the base down first. I'm going to get the corners, don't want them flapping up. There we go. Oops. So our Christmas tree is stuck on. I'm going to add the star to the top for a bit of glitz and glamour. And there we have it. We already have our first card made out of a book page. So that's example number 1. And then next I'm going to show you how to make a cute little polar bear. So there we go, I'll pop that to the side. So for this one I've got a bit of blue card. So again, same, I'm going to fold it in half. Make sure it's nice and even. Don't want it overhanging. That's it. This card's thinner so it's not as tough. Okay, so that's my card, and I've got some white paper as well. Because I wanted to add a bit of snow to the bottom perhaps. So I line it up with my card, give a few inches because we want quite thick snow, and then I'll know to cut it about here, and I want to give it wiggly lines to symbolise the thick snow that's fallen for Christmas. So I draw a little line there. I've done it freehand, but you can definitely take your time. So this will be our background for snow, you can see. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just pop that up here. We'll come back to that in a minute. So I've got my book page again. So what I'm going to need is I'm going to need sort of like an ovalish shape for the face. I want to have quite a big head, and then we can always cut it down if it seems too big. So I've drawn my oval sort of shape. As you can see, I've gone a little bit over the words into the white area, but that's fine. Doesn't all need to be that way. Okay, so is this too big for his head? No, that's probably the perfect size. Because he wants to be at the forefront of our card. So let's stick the snow down. I think that's going to stay. There we go. So that bit's stuck down, and then we'll play around now. So I'm going to need some ears. So I'm going to cut them freehand, but again, you can always just cut them out. So I want to keep the words upright, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some big ears. Like so, because they're going to slot behind. So do this so you can see. They're going to slot behind our polar bear. Let's give it a go. It might be too small. I tell you what, we could make this his nose. That can be his little snout area. Okay. So I hold it up so you can see. It's not all stuck down at the moment. We always stick at the end. It gives you room then to play around and get creative. Okay, so I'm going to do his other ear. do it in quite a thick area. There we go. So far, so good. So you'll be able to see this a lot better when you have it in front of you. But there's our polar bear taking shape. So now he needs a body, doesn't he? So we'll draw him a little body. Or quite a big body actually. So we'll do it in sort of like a triangle shape. You'll see when I've done it. What we'll do is we can pop that under here, and then we can slot that under our snow. So we've got a cute little polar bear taking shape now, as you can see. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue it down. Just turn it around for a second so I can see which way up I need to go. So I'm going to add some glue to the body. I'm going to slot it under my snow. There we go. Then I'm going to add his head on. See, the other side of this bit of paper wouldn't have been as good because you wouldn't want the acknowledgements to be the forward-facing bit of your card. Okay, so don't stick it down too heavily because we want to slot the ears just behind. And again, this isn't very heavily worded, so this side's probably better. So there we go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stick his little snout on. More towards the bottom part of his face. Perfect. So there we go, he's almost like a teddy bear really sort of shape. So what I've done now is I've got a permanent marker. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him a nose. So we will colour over the words for this bit. Okay, and we'll give him a smile. And then we'll draw some ears, give it a bit more definition. Already he's taken a bit more personality, isn't he? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the white paper that I used before, and I'm going to cut out 2 circles to make the eyes. So I'm going to make them fairly big and see how we get on. There we go. One eye bigger than the other? Yep, always check that and just slim it down to make sure they look fairly even. Much better. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stick the eyes on, and then actually I'll draw the black bits in first because it will be quite hard with the glue going underneath. So. Go. So as you can see, he's instantly got more personality. Okay. Again, you could have googly eyes if you've got those indoors, and they're always fun. or you can draw your own just like I did with a bit of white paper and a black pen. You don't even need a permanent pen, you could use a biro, but it's entirely up to you. So what we'll do now is we'll just give them a little bit of arms. And there we have it. We have one Arctic sort of polar bear, teddy bear looking card. But see how cute you can do it with little bits of books, you know, it's just a good way to upcycle. So we've got our 2 examples.